Okay, this is Commissioners Workshop, August 14th, 2025. And this is a chance to discuss any issues that come before the commissioners. I'll ask anybody from the audience, which there is nobody, but if anybody else here would like to bring up a topic or subject, or you gentlemen would like to talk about something, we can do that now.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I find it objectionable that you'd say nobody's here. We've got our sheriff, our chief, head of budget, representative from the News Herald, our assistant clerk, even poor Dave Hackman,
The esteemed.
the esteemed, the honorable.
We don't like to get him
assistant
talking, and it's tough
prosecutor.
to,
So I object to the characterization that nobody is here.
I accept the mistake. And won't let it get out. The sheriff, he's probably gonna object too.
Two things. As I was sitting at the meeting, listening, when she talked about children's services in Harvey High School and how long the lines were, it was amazing how many kids or parents were there and how many services there are for people in Lake County. I think Lake County looks at poverty or some of those challenges as being somewhere else and not here in Lake County. And I don't think people realize how many services are offered here for people here in Lake County. And I just don't know how to get that messaging out, what vehicle you would use. But I think it's an important aspect of really what Lake County is presenting for our residents, and it's a rarity.
I would love to have you join me on the cabinet for the United Way of Lake County annual fundraising campaign, and they talk about those exact statistics. That 11% of this county's population is at the poverty level or below, 1 in 10. When you break it down further than that, 17% of children are at or below the poverty level, which, if you look into what that poverty level is almost should be called the destitute level. 10% of adults between 18 and 64 and 7.5% of senior citizens over the age of 65 are at that poverty level. 25 or 26% of the county's population is at what they call the ALICE threshold or below, which is the asset limited income constrained. Essentially, those folks that go to work every day, work 2 jobs in that household, but still have to make a decision between one of their bills: utilities, rent, mortgage, food, car payment, et cetera, et cetera. Those folks that do still work 40-hour weeks, 2 of them in a household, and still have a struggle. 1 in 4. So yes, I commend you for understanding the problem and the challenges that face. And you are correct. There are many, many wonderful resources out there in this county that have been here for a while. A lot of which I had the privilege of going to the Housing Coalition meeting on Tuesday of this week, and every single one of the individual organizations represented in there, their need is growing, their funding is getting cut and getting less, and it is a very frightening time for those people that you reference that are helping us with this services. So on one hand, yes, we need to make sure that those folks in the population in our county know that there are services available to help out, but it falls on leaders such as yourself and others to make sure that those programs remain in place to help those most vulnerable. So thank you for acknowledging what depressed me.
How you get that, because messaging is so unique. I mean, some people read a paper, some people do Facebook, but you don't get to everybody through those various means.
Yeah.
And the other point, so the head project manager for Gilbane, So we were on the site tour yesterday, and he was talking about all the major projects he's worked on over the years, huge, square footages and the cost of those, and pending what's out in Cuyahoga County coming. And he said, but this is the most important project I have. Well, they're like, well, this is probably small for what you guys usually do. And he said, no, because of the people here that we work with. You're an amazing group of individuals. And we really want to make this. And I don't think he was falsely saying that. I think he was very serious about that. And the chief and I were talking this morning about it, and not to make his head big, but I think it's a lot about the county administrator who has managed a lot of this project and managing a lot of calls every week, and he is the main person out there really controlling this, and I think it speaks well of Lake County and of his abilities here. So I think that's important to know. That's it.
Thank you.
And Dave Hackman's still useless. No.
The lawyer always gets it.
I agree with Jason's input, and he's very hands-on. We try to tell him not to be so, but it's just the way he's built. I know I've joked in the past, when you're on vacation, you're watching a live feed.
He
probably
does.
is watching a live feed.
He does.
See what's
So
going on, so-
exceptional.
Yeah, and we're fortunate, again, to have the staff we have up here, Joel and Zach and
Yeah, they were telling
clerk. And,
me this morning where they're going with the finance on the jail and the pay downs. It's amazing how much progress is being made on so many different fronts to make this happen. So as a sheriff, and I know I speak for the chief, we really appreciate what has been generated to make this facility possible. Not only for the county, but for the sheriff's office moving forward. So thank you.
well, I think a lot of thanks goes to you and the chief too, because when you set realistic goals, we toured a place that was the Taj Mahal. And you're like, I don't need this, I don't need that, we're not going to have this, we're not going to have that. So we built something that's practical, but it's going to serve us for a long time. We joke about the hot tub and the sheriff's. That's kind of how I felt when we toured one of those places. And I was like, and you're like, no, I don't need my own conference room, elevator, I don't need this, I just need my office. And when you can set those kind of goals from the beginning and say, okay, this is what we need function, and then we made the building look more appropriate to the area. We really took the time and continue to take the time to make sure it's done right. Ellis and Jeff Applebaum have been all-stars. They get to be the bad guys. So that's, we can't ask for a better team we put together, and people that truly care about it. So thank you and the chief and your staff.
Last thing, September 18th, is it, Chief? September 18th for the academy?
Pay attention.
We have a full slate of students, it looks like.
Nice.
So that's going to kick off, go from September till February. So that program's going to be a good asset for the county too. So thanks to the chief for getting that started.
In addition to the cyber trucks they were test driving yesterday.
Well, there is, I did want to bring up, no,
Well, I would just add my 2 cents, Sheriff, and I am grateful to hear the sincerity in your voice when you look at those kids in need and you see the great difference that Job and Family Services and the Salvation Army is able to make for them every year. I remember as a kid, I know this will sound nerdy to the extreme, but my brothers and sisters and I were always so excited when the sales tax holiday came up, because that's when we got our new spiral bound notebooks, and we would just be so excited to get 5-10 of those notebooks to just write down all of our essays and our short stories, and thinking about all the things I could write down if I had a couple of pencils and a notebook. And you look back and you go, wow, such a little thing made such a huge difference. But that's exactly what it is for every kid. And there are families that can't afford that notebook and that backpack and that pencil and crayon set. And for the county to be able to make that small difference in terms of expenditure, but that huge difference in terms of impact, I can see how it is that Lake County is different because, yeah, we have some incredibly successful professionals in this room. I don't think there's many people more successful than you or Commissioner Beveridge, but you both sincerely care. And I really feel like that's where we've had this disconnect. There are so many politicians and elected officials who are so successful that they can't even imagine a world where there is someone who needs help because they've never needed it. And some of them earned it and some of them didn't, but they're so successful that they can't understand. But you're successful and you do understand. You set an example for people who are leaders, and I hope we can all live up to that.
Anything further?
I think it's time for America 250.
Got it.
How long do we have to go?
We've surpassed our time.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
I thought we started after. I'm looking at the clock. I thought we had to go 15 minutes to leave it open. You know me, and the good Mr. Hackman will attest. I am a rule follower.
it's 10 minutes.
So, are we good back there? By the book beverage. That's what they used to call me. Still do. I think it's a different one.
Lord Zenu.
Before we wrap up, I do want to say to the wonderful Belarus, the clerks in the office, and to the staff, next year I would like us to figure out how to have our commissioners meeting the week of the fair at the fair. So there's a 1 year notice of whatever logistics need to be put in place. Fair week.
Look how happy they are.
Dave, I'd like you to find out the legalities of whether or not we're allowed to do this, what needs to be put in place. But I would, can you roundtable that to find out the?
Yes, you do have the ability.
Okay. Oh, whoa! Did you hear that, Joel? He thinks I have the ability and authority to make that call.
I hear you.
I'm gonna be in Mexico that week next year. I already booked it.
I'm thinking Tuesday morning instead of Thursday morning to kick off the fair. 9 a.m. meeting on the fairgrounds to be discussed later.
That being said, let's adjourn.